I remember like it was yesterday. It was when I was working in high fashion retail management and we had just closed the store for the night and I had taken the drawer and was going to count down the money for the day and make the deposit. And as I had grabbed the drawer and was walking to the back of the store, I heard the front gate of our store rattle. And it was one of my workers and he was yelling out, "Mitch, I really need to talk to you. Please, please let me in." And so my people raised the gate and let him in, and we walked to the back and I had one of my other assistant managers count the drawers down. And as I visited with this young man about a challenge that had just arisen in his life, the thought hit me. Now, I had been in leadership positions before. I had done various things and led in many ways and counseled with many people and families. I had done those things. But that night, as I was talking to this young man, the thought hit me. I had never considered what leadership from the heart really looks like. I'd been so busy driving business or trying to tell more people about my message and trying to bring more people into the group or trying to build more customer base. I'd been so busy driving things forward that I'd never stopped to consider, what does it look like to lead from the heart? And so for the next hour and a half, that young man just shared with me through tears and agony and pain this situation that was taking place. And he was asking me, "Mitch, what am I going to do?" And so we talked and we tried to figure things out as best we could. And in that moment, I wasn't a manager of a store. I was just simply a human being who could offer some condolences and courage and advice to a young man. I was still leading, but I was probably leading in that moment from the greatest place possible, from compassion. The month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I had a friend that told me a few months ago, we were talking about mental health and depression, and he made a statement that really stayed with me. He said, "Mitch, the crazy thing about mental health is no one can see it." And so if someone's battling with cancer or a disease or an illness that we can see manifested physically, we respond to that manifestation. But with mental health, we don't respond to it because we can't see the struggle. I'm one that deals with mental health. I battle depression. And some days it's all I can do to get out of bed and to tell myself to keep pushing forward. Some days when I want to make videos just like these to encourage you or to encourage other leaders, it's all I can do to pick up the camera and to even look inside of that piece of technology and record something that I think will inspire you, because I myself need inspired in that moment in time. Mental health is this idea that manifests itself internally, and so we usually don't see it. What does mental health have to do with leadership? That's the question. It has everything to do with leadership. Because friends, if you find yourself in the position of leadership, and all of us in one form or fashion are leaders, whether we're leading families or businesses or just being influential to others around us, we're all leaders. But if you find yourself as a boss or a manager or a CEO or someone that is constantly a school teacher, you're constantly influencing others around you and you're shaping the idealism of others. It's time that we learn to lead from the heart, because there are those that are dealing with things that you'll never see. I have friends that have known me my whole life, or maybe have been around me so much in the last 2 decades that if I tell them I battle depression, they would have never known. Because most of us are really good at hiding things, right? But even more, most of us aren't great at recognizing things because we just don't take the time. So if you're in a position of leadership, the first thing that I would want you to do is to learn to lead with compassion. Ask your people, how are you really? Don't be the leader that just comes in every day and drives numbers and drives progress and drives growth. No one wants to work for that person. Over time, people are just going to leave because you don't really care. There's an old saying that goes something like this: people don't care how much you know. I'm sure you can finish the statement, right? Until they know how much you care. So if you're that boss or that CEO or that manager or that school teacher or that administrator, no matter how large or small your operation is, be the leader that checks in every day and asks, how are you doing? And look people in the eye. Give out a hug when you need to. Do what you need to do to connect with people in a healthy way that lets them know when you need to come rattle our front gate or knock on my office door. I'm here. Because the real leadership that matters and the real leadership that's going to grow your company or mature your staff or make an indelible difference in the future of people is leadership from the heart.